Hello and welcome to another video, and in this video we are going to create a JavaScript stopwatch. So we are going to use HTML, CSS and a little bit of vanilla JavaScript to make this happen. So if you are a beginner level JavaScript developer or just learning JavaScript, then this video is for you. So without any further ado, let's get started with it. At first we need to create our HTML markup, and we have this index.html file, but we need to link the CSS with it. Now let's open a div with the class of container, and inside it I am going to create another div with the class of wrapper. So we need this wrapper div to make it centered inside this container. Now I am going to put down the text for the clock. So we have seconds and tenths here, so I'm going to use a paragraph tag for that, and inside it I'm going to open a span with the class of seconds. Let's put 00 for now, and after it there will be a colon, and again we need another span with the class of tenths. It will also be 00. Now in the next line I am going to add 3 buttons. So first one is for start, second one is to stop the stopwatch, and the third one is for reset. So let's do that. I am going to give it a class of button start. I am going to make some copy of it. The second one is for stop. The third one is for reset. Okay, our markup is almost done, but we need to put the button in the next line. It is not yet in the same line, but if we give this and display of inline block, then it will be on the same line, so we can use an BR tag for it. Now I have got a font to use in this project, which is Source Sans Pro. So this is the Google font link, and I am going to apply some universal selector and some properties, so it will neutralize the default margin and padding of the browser. Now let's style the container div, and we are going to give it a background color and 100 viewport height of height, or it will be 100%, text ln is center. Now let's style the wrapper div. We can give it a position of relative because the parent element has a position of absolute. Now we can position them by top, left and the transform. Now it is in the center. Now let's style the paragraph tag here. So we are going to give this a color of white, a little bit of larger font size, and also some margin bottom, because we need a background circle with it, but we actually cannot directly use the background because in that way it will be asymmetrical, but we don't want it. So we are going to use an before pseudo element. Now we have given this wrapper a position of relative, and now we are going to give this before a position of absolute. The content should be blank. It also has a specific width and height. Let's delete the left in here because there are 2. Now it is perfectly positioned, but in the demo you have seen that it has some background effect. It is kind of glowing or shining. So we have added the animation name, but we need to create the animations. So that's what we are going to do with the keyframe, and this has a box shadow, so it will. Now let's style the buttons here. So we are going to give this a background color, a border, transition, and also the color of the text will be white, also a border radius. Now we need to create some gap among them, so we are going to use the margin at the right side, but in case of the last item we don't need the margin, so we are going to use the not large child selector. Now we need to add some hover effect or focus effect, so let's do that. Now we have our markup completed and design is perfectly fine. Now we are going to put our JavaScript code inside it. What are the things we need here? We need the seconds, we need the tenths, and also the containing elements, and also these 3 buttons. So let's go to the script.js and get the elements and put it inside some variables. So let's create a variable named seconds, and the initial value will be 0, so let's give the value of 0. The second one is for the tens. Now we need to get the elements, so it has this class of seconds and the tens has a class of tens, so let's put them inside some variables. I'm going to name it get seconds, and we are going to use document.querySelector. Now for class we need to put in dot, so this has a class of seconds. We can just copy and paste this. The second one will be tens. Let's also change the name of the variable, it is tens. Now we need to get all these 3 buttons, so they have this class of button start, stop and reset. Let button start. It has a class of button dash start. Now the second one has a class of button stop. The third one will be button reset. So we need to change the variable name also. It will be button reset. The second one will be stop. Okay, we are done with the variables. Now let's think about what we are going to do. When we click on the start, something will happen, right? So it will add something in the tens, then when it will become 99 or 100, then it will add on to the seconds. So let's do that. We need to add an event listener with this button, so it has this variable of button start dot add event listener. The first one will be the event, which is the click. When you click on that, something will happen. Now the second element here is an callback function. Now in here we give this tens the value of 0. Now when you click on that, it should increase by on, so we are going to do that, tens double plus, so it will increase by on. Now let's use some if condition here. So in here, when the seconds will be less than 9, it will add an 0 before it, otherwise it will be on single element and it will look weird. So when the seconds will be equal to or smaller than 9, it will add an 0 before it, but when it will be more than 9, there will be no 0, only the seconds. When it will be more than 99, it will get reset, so the value of the tens will be 0 and it will add on to the seconds. If the tens is less than or equal to 9, we need to get the tens, which is this variable here, and we need to change the content in here, right? So we are going to use inner HTML and the value will be 0. We need to put it inside an quotation, then we need to append it with the seconds, sorry, the tens here. So this is it, this is the variable, we need to put it as a value. Let's save and click the start, and it is working. Now we need to solve the next issue, which is when it will become more than 9. So it's almost the same, so we can copy the if statement here. So it will be more than 9 and we don't need the 0 anymore. Okay, let's save and see. Okay, it's working just fine, but when it will be more than 99, we want the tens to be 0. So let's do that. If the tens is more than 99, we need to increase the seconds, right? So it will be the same, it will increase by on. Now we need to show this value of the seconds in here, so it will be the same as this one. So get seconds dot inner HTML, and the value will be it will add a 0, and let's append the seconds here. So when the seconds will be a single digit, so it will add a 0 before it, but when it becomes more than 10 or more than 9, it doesn't need any zeros. So we are also going to do that, but before that, let's reset the tens here. So the value of the tens will be 0, and we need to also show it at the browser. So it will be get tens.inner.html. It will be this thing right here, except this will be 0. So when it crosses the 99, it will add on to the seconds and it will be displayed. Then the tens will be 0, and it will also display the tens as 0 here. When the seconds will be more than 9, we need to show it without the 0, so we don't need the 0 anymore. Now we are fine, but in here we need to click it to make this happen, but we don't want that, right? We want when we click it, it will continuously happen. So we are going to use an JavaScript function named setInterval. So what it does is we can fix an interval time. After that period of time, it will run this function again and again. So to keep the code simple, I am going to cut it and put it as a function here, and I am going to name it start timer. Okay, now we can run the function in here. So it will be set interval. It does take two parameters. The first one is the function and the second one is the duration. So the interval we want, it will be in the millisecond. So let's put the function now, it's the start timer. Now we need to put the interval, but in here we need to do some calculations. So it will count up to 99 or 100, then it will add on to the second. So it will count up to 100 in on seconds, and on seconds means 1000 millisecond. So we need to count on in 10 millisecond. So that is the value of the interval. We need to run the function in 10 millisecond after. Let's save and see if this is working or not, and it is working just fine. So now let's work with the stop interval and reset. For that we need to add an event listener with the button stop, not the start, it will be a stop. Then let's add the event listener with it. It will be the same, click. Okay, now what do we need? Actually we can clear the intervals by using a built-in JavaScript function which is clear interval, but we cannot do it directly from here. We need to put it inside a variable, and we need to pass that variable in the clear interval. So let's create an empty variable first. I am going to name it interval, and let's give this variable interval. It is an empty variable till now, and I am going to give this a value of this set interval function. Now it will work just fine, but when we click the stop, we want to clear the intervals. So the function name is clear interval, and we need to pass this variable as an argument. I think it will work fine just now. Let's see, start, stop, and it is working. Now let's work on the reset. So we can copy this because it will be almost the same. The variable name here is button reset. Okay, when we click on that, the first thing will happen, this it will stop the timer, so it will be the same as clear interval. Now we need the tens to be 0 and also the seconds as 0. We also need to show this tens and seconds in here. So let's do that. Get seconds dot inner HTML will be this tense here. Sorry, it will be the seconds, not, it will be the same with the tense. Let's save, and now let's see if it is working or not. Start, it is starting, stop, okay, and reset, it is working. Now our project is working just fine, but I have a little challenge for you. So you can try and add an minute here, so it will be 00 before this. So you can go to the index.html and add another span with some class and a number. Now in script.js you can add variables to define the values, then and another variable to get the selector, and it will be the same functions. And I hope you can make this happen, because it is really easy. I will upload the source codes including the challenge in the GitHub repository, and I will share the link in description. If you need it, you can download it from there. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. We'll be right back.